the Greek city-states were all different and special in their own ways. While there were some Pan-Hellenic continuities, the individual city-states all had their own patron deities, customs, and festivals. Moreover, there were also ethnic and linguistic differences between the Dorians, Aeolians, Achaeans, and Ionians. Through trade, they were in regular contact with non-Greeks such as the Egyptians and the Persians. Thus, the Greeks were often in a position to compare their own customs with those of others. They were acutely aware of the cultural differences, and there were concentric rings of foreignness, starting with their own neighboring Greeks and ending with distant peoples like the Persians. This led to a view of the relativity of values and customs. Herodotus, a great observer of different peoples, gives one of the clearest statements of this view. At the end of his account of the Persian king Cambyses II, he dwells for a moment on this issue by way of criticism of the king's defiance of local custom. The historian writes, quote, "Just suppose that someone proposed to the entirety of mankind that a selection of the very best practices be made from the sum of human custom. Each group of people, after carefully sifting through the customs of other peoples, would surely choose its own. Everyone believes his own customs to be far and away the best. Indeed, there's a huge amount of corroborating evidence to support the conclusion that this attitude to one's own native customs is universal." So he gives an example showing that the Greeks and the Indians have completely different sensibilities with respect to the treatment of dead relatives. While the Greeks cremate their dead, the Indians, so claims Herodotus, eat the bodies of their parents. While the account of the Indians being cannibals is presumably apocryphal, the point still stands and could easily be illustrated with other examples. Herodotus concludes, quote, "Such then is how custom operates, and how right Pindar is, it seems to me, when he declares in his poetry that custom is the king of all." End quote. Herodotus is not a moral relativist, since he presumably does not condone the purported Indian custom of eating their parents. His point is merely that individual peoples all tend to think that their customs are the correct ones. People live by their own customs, and these have a tremendous formative factor in our lives. They shape people, their beliefs, and worldviews in different ways. We need to be attentive to this if we're going to make a study of history which involves different cultures and their complex relations to one another.